I want to be great for you guys. No offense. It is hard as shit. It is hard as shit because there's tons of people that want to break you down. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to be the best.
Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces-Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. That was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
I'm not trying to be great just for you guys. No offense. It's tough out here because so many people want to tear you down. But I'm going to step onto that court and do my best. Now, let's talk about the ratings. They're just not the same without Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever's elimination changed everything. Game 1 of the Aces versus Liberty matchup on Sunday pulled in an average of 929,000 viewers. That's nearly a 50% drop from last Sunday's Fever versus Sun game. And it's not just viewership that's taken a hit.
Tickets were going for around $100. Now, for any other major sporting event, the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, the NHL maybe, $100 tickets, that would be considered a bargain. Hell, in most cases, $100 tickets do not exist. The most expensive seats to see Caitlin Clark were selling for over $4,000. When she played Angel Reese in the regular season, average ticket was selling for $300. Normally, the Chicago Bravado, they'll let you in for free to see Angel Reese.
Attendance has plummeted too. If you thought Caitlin Clark leaving the playoffs was just about one player, think again. WNBA ticket prices have nosedived. And now everyone's wondering if the league can bounce back.
As the team progresses through the playoffs, tickets get more and more expensive, which is why I was incredibly confused to see tickets at the Target Center in Minnesota selling for as low as $10. According to StubHub, seats that are damn near courtside, they're going for $65. You can sit directly behind the female Suns bench for $60.
Now you might be wondering, is it really that bad? Well, hold on to your jerseys because it gets worse. Viewership for WNBA playoff games dropped by nearly 50% without Clark. Half the viewers just gone. This isn't just a slump, it's a crisis.
This morning, I noticed that the upper bowls of the Target Center were unavailable. I wonder why they're not offering tickets in those sections because they can't sell the damn seats in the lower bowl.
So here's the million-dollar question. Is the WNBA's future hanging by a thread, or is this the wake-up call the league needed? The ball's in their court now, and everyone's watching to see what they'll do next.
All I know, when they got eliminated from the playoffs, the attendance dropped, the ratings dropped. Now I wouldn't need to know because it's the old guard and it's this and that. So what's the reason?
But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about empty seats. This is about the future of women's basketball. Are you ready to dive in and see just how deep this rabbit hole goes? When Caitlin Clark hit the court, WNBA ticket prices skyrocketed like a buzzer-beater three-pointer. We're talking seats going for more than $4,000. Crazy, right? Fans were eager to pay top dollar to see Clark in action. Even the average ticket price sat around $100.
If you look before Caitlin, the attendance was around 5,000. Since Caitlin, she sold out every game this year, so that's an increase of about 10,000 tickets per game. The average ticket price has gone up, say roughly $100. So that right there is looking at $1 million per game. And so if you take that times 14 home games, that's $14 million. And that's not even considering anything else.
Now, in other major leagues like the NFL, NBA, MLB, or NHL, $100 might be considered a steal. In fact, for some of these events, tickets that cheap don't even exist. The most expensive seats to see Caitlin Clark were selling for over $4,000 when she played against Angel Reese in the regular season. The average ticket price?
Well, I focused on two basic measures, and that's just attendance and the ticket price. And if you just look at those two things and ignore even merchandise sales, spending on restaurants and concessions and lodging, you're already at an unbelievable number.
Around $300. Meanwhile, in Chicago, you could practically walk in for free to see Angel Reese. But then, things took a wild turn. The moment Clark was eliminated from the playoffs, ticket prices crashed harder than a rejected layup. Some seats were selling for as little as $10. That's not just a slight dip, it's a full-on collapse. Normally, as teams progress through the playoffs, ticket prices rise.
Draw the big crowds.
You say the ratings have dropped since Fever had been eliminated?
Yes. Look at the attendance when the Fever play your favorite team, and look at the attendance when they don't.
So, you can imagine my shock when I saw seats at Minnesota's Target Center going for just $10. Courtside tickets, $65. Seats right behind the Phoenix Mercury's bench, $60. You might be asking, is it really that bad? Well, hold on to your jerseys because it gets worse. WNBA playoff viewership dropped by nearly 50% without Clark. Half the audience just disappeared. This isn't just a slump, it's a serious crisis. This morning, I noticed that the upper levels of Target Center weren't even open for ticket sales. Why? Because they can't even sell out the lower bowl. So, here's the million-dollar question.
Because things went from bad to worse. Sunday night, the Lakers and the Female Suns were on ESPN. Now keep in mind, the Female Suns were averaging close to 2 million viewers when they were playing against Caitlin Clark. These are the same Female Suns that claim Caitlin Clark is not the only draw in the WNBA. Sunday night against the Minnesota Lakers, 654,000 viewers. Since Caitlin Clark was eliminated from the playoffs, WNBA ratings had declined.
Is the WNBA's future hanging by a thread? Or is this the wake-up call the league desperately needed? The ball is in their court now, and everyone's watching to see their next move. One thing is clear.
Half the WNBA right now is overseas playing in some foreign league right now because they don't make enough money during the WNBA season to take care of themselves at the level they want to for all year. They're already playing in rival leagues.
The moment Clark was eliminated, attendance dropped and ratings took a nosedive. People always want to argue about the old guard or whatever else. But if that's the case, what's the excuse now? If the WNBA was truly more than just one player, why aren't people still tuning in? Let's break it down. When Clark stepped onto the court, she didn't just bring her game, she brought an entire arena with her.
Game 5 would be broadcast on ESPN or TNT. It would be broadcast on a major network. Last I checked, ESPN was the proud home of pretend basketball. ESPN claims to be the proud home of women's sports. With that being the case, how come Game 5 of the Chase for the Golden Toilet is being broadcast on ESPN2?
Her games averaged over 10,000 fans compared to the league's usual 5,000. That's not just an increase, that's a full-on explosion. Before Caitlin Clark, average attendance was around 5,000. With Clark, every single game sold out, doubling attendance to 10,000. Let's talk dollars. The average ticket price jumped by about $100 per seat.
With the WNBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season. But with all of the drama currently surrounding the WNBA, on top of the low-paying salaries, some of these players are questioning if they'll even return.
That alone translates to an additional $1 million per game. Multiply that by 14 home games, and you're looking at $14 million in extra revenue, without even factoring in merchandise sales, food, lodging, or anything else. But here's where it gets even crazier. Clark wasn't just filling seats, she was creating a cultural movement that boosted the economy around the league.
Caitlin got all of this exposure. She's getting endorsements because she's unique. It's like Steph Curry's unique, Tiger Woods' unique. Not everybody gets it just because, hey, I put in 10 years in the WNBA or the PGA Tour or the NBA. It doesn't work that way. It's supply and demand. Do they want to buy your shoes or do they not? Do they want to play your basketball? Do they want to play with a Wilson? I mean, that's what this is about.
Suddenly, WNBA games weren't just games. They were must-see events. People who had never watched women's basketball were tuning in, talking about it, tweeting about it. Clark didn't just bring excitement, she turned the WNBA into primetime TV. Now, if you're thinking, isn't this all a good thing? Yes and no. Clark's impact was so massive that it exposed a major flaw in the WNBA's business model. The league put all its eggs in one basket, and when that basket was gone, everything fell apart. Want proof? Look at what happened when Clark exited the playoffs. Suddenly, games were moved from ESPN to ESPN2. That's not just a channel swap. That's a sign of surrender. It's like the networks are saying, without Clark, we don't expect big numbers. The ratings?
WNBA, we are women, okay? I want to see some cattiness, okay? I need entertainment because I know there's going to be at least some exciting things going on. There's going to be threes, there's going to be dunks, there's going to be trash talk.
They've plummeted since the Fever were eliminated. Look at the attendance when the Fever played a team versus when they didn't. It's night and day. So, what does this mean for the future of women's basketball? It's complicated. On the one hand, Clark proved that when women's basketball is marketed correctly, there's an enormous audience for it. She helped 22 WNBA games hit over 1 million viewers this season. That's unheard of. But on the other hand, the league's over-reliance on her has left them vulnerable. They built this amazing rocket ship, but forgot they only had one engine. Now, here's the real issue. It's not just about Clark. It's about how the league operates as a whole. They've shown they can create a superstar, but can they sustain the momentum? Can they turn Clark's fans into WNBA fans for life? The league is at a crossroads. They've had a taste of what's possible, but can they keep it going? Will they use Clark's success as a blueprint, or will they fall back into old habits? Because, let me tell you, things have gone from bad to worse. The Connecticut Sun and Minnesota Lynx played on ESPN. Just a few weeks ago, the Sun were averaging close to 2 million viewers when they played Clark. But against the Lynx, only 654,000 tuned in. Since Clark's elimination, WNBA ratings have tanked. And if you thought empty seats were the WNBA's biggest problem, think again. The league's financial issues are piling up fast. It's gotten so bad that half the league is playing overseas to make ends meet. The reality, WNBA salaries alone aren't cutting it. Some of the biggest names in the league are making more money in exhibition games than they do in official WNBA matchups. Meanwhile, the league is stuck in a brutal cycle. They need stars like Clark to bring in fans and revenue, but they can't afford to pay top players what they deserve. It's like trying to build a championship team with a lemonade stand budget. Aja Wilson, one of the best players in the league, makes around $225,000. These athletes want and deserve more. So, what's next? The WNBA can't just rely on one player to carry the league. They need to create new storylines, build up more stars, and give fans more reasons to stay engaged. Imagine a league where every team has a must-watch player. That's what will truly grow the game. And here's where you come in. The WNBA isn't just facing a crisis, they're facing an opportunity. Ticket prices may have dropped without Clark, but this is a chance to transform the league from the ground up. Better marketing, stronger engagement, smarter partnerships, it's all on the table. This isn't just about Clark, it's about what comes next. Will the WNBA rise to the challenge, or will they stay stuck in her shadow? The next chapter of women's basketball is being written right now. And guess what? You're part of the story. So, what's it going to be?